Dear friends, have you ever tried to establish a new market? Any of you? My team is busily working on the same thing that you have done. We are building a new market. But it is very hard, it is challenging. But let me first start with history. What worries our team is the fact that biodiversity is declining at a very alarming rate all over the world, Finland including. The major driver is land use change, because we are taking natural environments to mining, farming, building houses, building roads, and related needs that human beings have. Luckily, the most valuable part of biodiversity is conserved by regulation. But for the most part, and I mean the nature, how we think of it and how we encounter it in our daily lives, is destroyed on a daily basis. And this must be stopped. As regulation cannot do it, our proposal is to introduce a biodiversity compensation market. In this market, all stakeholders, firms, landowners, citizens, you and me, take responsibility of biodiversity conservation. The idea is simple, as said. Every time that a firm destroys nature in its project, it must buy an improvement in biodiversity elsewhere to compensate for the damages that it causes. And within this activity, the firm enters market as a demander. Landowners have a possibility of investing in habitat restoration and receive money for this enterprise. So they create successful investment, create compensations that are sold out as offsets to firms. And this trading will take place according to the rules that the science dictates. And this, if it functions well, it will mean the end for the continuous decline of biodiversity. But to make the market work smoothly, we need an intermediate, which we call Habitat Bank. The bank will be an active dealer in the market, helping the firms and the landowners to meet each other. It makes contracts, it keeps data openly available for all, giving hints for firms and for landowners where compensation are needed and where there are possibilities of making habitat restoration. So we say that the Habitat Bank is generating monetary and nature values, and it does it by dating landowners and companies. Landowners in turn have a chance to invest in habitat restoration. When doing this, they learn to do it better and better, which means that they can be more efficient suppliers. So what they do is they earn by learning. For companies we say, you can only earn by paying. Sounds absurd, but it's not. During this spring, our stakeholder meetings have made it very clear for us that if a firm has compensations for the damage that they cannot avoid, and if the administration is willing to open a rapid permitting process, they can save money not in tens of thousands of euros, but hundreds of thousands of euros. So it really pays for the companies to participate in the compensation market. Moreover, they improve their reputation and possibly even make some extra sales thanks to their good reputation. We think that this is a very good idea. We see huge potential here for jobs and for innovations. If you think about the trading potential in Finland, we have more than 2,200 threatened species here, and about 60% of our ecosystems are degraded. We have more than 500,000 landowners and hundreds of firms that are working on land use chasing areas. We made an estimate about the possible turnover of this type of market. And the market size may be even 1 billion euros. We have been working very much this year on the key thing of the whole market, and it is habitat restoration, because it is the thing by which we improve biodiversity. Habitat restoration means an investment where a habitat, like here, this traditional biotope, which is severely badly degraded, this blue line here, it starts a development towards a natural state, illustrated or calculated actually, and shown out by this red line. We have spent much time in defining the ecological criteria by which we can show that the compensation is successful for firms and for the landowners. And actually it has turned out that there's much interest in this part of our world in Europe, even within the European Investment Bank. We think that this part, even this small part of our work, has high commercial value. We have recently worked a lot on the legal requirements that this type of market entails. We must have binding contracts with landowners, and the trading must be safe and secure. We are happy to tell that the lawyer, Professor Jukka Similä, has joined our team, and he's leading this legal analysis, which we will complete during this autumn. We have arranged a large number of stakeholder meetings by which it is pretty clear for us what are the requirements or the willingness of the companies to participate in this type of market, and how willing or how capable the landowners are in providing, making habitat restoration and providing compensations. Any big reform requires pilot. And for us, the pilot means to give a great role to the Habitat Bank of Finland. The Habitat Bank will be the nexus of science, business, and social acceptance. We have been working on very much working on the organizational form of Habitat Bank. I don't know if we are lucky or if the concept is so good that there are several contributors who have joined us this precise work. Sitra is supporting us. We have not only a godmother, a top consultant helping us, but we have also a new innovative Finnish firm who is in a very close discourse with us on this matter. We have a top consultant working us on sharpening the business plan for this Habitat Bank. And this we need because we are negotiating with the European Investment Bank on a sums of money that we never had dreamed of. We have two lines to follow or to examine. One is to establish the Habitat Bank as an independent institution working in the market, and the other line is to address the bank to an existing firm or existing firms who are currently working on this field. Whatever our choice will be, the pilot will be the one that follows first. And by that pilot, you will get used to Habitat Bank and the certificate that the bank provides for those investments that really improve biodiversity, that are safe for sales. And finally, we still have the high-level political support for this enterprise. We have minister, and we have much administration behind us. They are keen to see that this process goes on and we get the compensation market established. So, overall, I think we have all the ingredients that are needed for a success. Thank you.